Hi everyone. Today we'll digress from the boring theory and discuss a case from the life of a real company. We will talk about creation and launch of an MVP, testing of marketing hypotheses. More and more people want to start businesses or create products. Of course, launching your own business and working on something that brings not only pleasure but also profit is the goal of many people. With your business's launch and development, you acquire a certain freedom and financial independence and begin to progress more intensively than if you worked for someone. With your own business you have to pay for every failure with your money, but at the same time you can gain recognition and respect. However, to get all this you must go through a thorny path, which can lead to the top. Sometimes, it results in a loss of time, money, and business failure. Many students who bought our courses wanted to scale their businesses or launch their products from scratch. One of our students, Ethan, was kind enough to share the experience of launching his own online academy. Like many young people, Ethan had dreamed of starting his own business since childhood but had no idea where to start or how to develop it. But one passion predetermined the direction of his further development and the choice of a future business. Ethan adored reading literature and self-education. Realizing that the future belongs to online education, he decided to create something related to educating people and launched his own online academy. And he wasn't intimidated by the fact that he wasn't an expert in any sphere. He planned to take on the role of the business owner and principal of an online academy, and for specific courses wanted to hire experts who could create different course syllabuses, develop courses, and engage in training students. But let's start from the beginning and consider the following stages of launching Ethan's business. Self-study. Choosing a niche. Developing a business plan. Developing a marketing strategy. Forming a team. Creation of an MVP of the online academy. Launch of an MVP. Testing marketing ideas. Analysis of results. Before Ethan began to do anything, he decided to learn the business basics. He looked for answers to all his questions on the internet instead of taking courses to save time. Ethan studied and processed a lot of information, but, unfortunately, there was no understanding of what problems he could face at the startup phase, where to start, how to build a business, and how to create products from scratch. It took a lot of trial and error to understand how everything could work, but he still had plenty of questions, wasted time, and money. When Ethan realized he was doing something wrong, he decided to come to us and took product management and how to start a profitable online business, teach online, and how to launch a courses. After that, he found answers to many of his questions and figured out where he had made minor and major mistakes. However, only some things could already be fixed. Let's go ahead and figure out what exactly went wrong and how you can avoid these mistakes in the future. In general, it was decided to launch an online academy. It was necessary to find out what kind of courses students could buy from Ethan and how this academy could compete with similar organizations. Ethan began by identifying the top 20 courses on the market. And he immediately paid his attention to such niches as health and cooking. The choice fell on these directions because it is easy to find experts who can help launch courses, and the demand for the courses is high enough because everybody wants to be healthy and cook deliciously. The next stage was already planned to deal with IT, entrepreneurial courses, and self-motivation. But before starting working on health and cooking, Ethan decided to talk to potential students and find out what they were willing to pay money for. After that, he created a questionnaire through Google Forms and sent it to all his relatives and acquaintances. The information he received was enough to understand the needs of potential clients. And that was the first mistake. His acquaintances, for example, were ashamed to write that they could not afford to pay serious money for this kind of course. There were many untruthful answers. He should have paid more attention to the analysis of the target audience and identified their real needs. Alternatively, he could have asked the experts to create some lead magnets. For example, 10 restaurant recipes for $1 or 5 secret exercises that can prolong life expectancy, and start a survey on social networks, and give gifts, lead magnets, created by experts to everyone who agreed to answer the questions. By doing this, it would have saved money that would have been wasted on creating extensive courses that no one was willing to buy. Customers in these niches were willing to pay $50 per course, not $500. After choosing the niches and analyzing the target audience, Ethan decided to develop a business plan and figure out what investments are necessary to launch the online academy, and to determine how to work with experts, to share costs and profits 50% to 50%, or to register the ownership of all courses to his company and pay experts as employees, i.e. their salary does not depend on the company's profit. While developing a business plan, Ethan had expense items that he had not even expected before, such as opening a company, registering a trademark, buying equipment and paying for subscriptions to various kinds of software. In general, the amount was quite impressive. Opening the company, $1,000, although he could have legalized its activities in another way, and it would have cost $100, the registration of his trademark, $1,000, at the stage of launching the MVP, minimal viable product, a test version of a product, service with a minimum set of functions, sometimes even one, which is valuable to the end user, could have been done without it at all. Equipment purchase, $5,000, subscriptions to the software, $7,000 a year, etc. About $15,000 was needed without taking the team's salary, cooperation with experts or advertising into account. The truth is, the costs could have been cut substantially if the software had been free. It would have been enough to start, and he could switch to a paid package as the number of students grew. But the most interesting thing in terms of costs was yet to come. It was necessary to determine the team structure. A website developer and a marketer were essential for each course, and the plan was to launch 2 courses at once, the first, health, and the second, cooking, sales manager, and at least 2 experts for each course. Ethan decided not to work with experts on the condition to divide the expenses and profit 50% and 50%, but he agreed to pay them as employees and took all the risks upon himself. The additional monthly expenses were enormous, $7,600, and not including advertising costs. Instead of starting to create the website, develop the course program, start the advertising and test the first marketing hypotheses, he decided to create the courses in the beginning. He allocated 3 months for this whole process. As a result, it was planned to spend about $40,000 in 3 months for 2 courses. And it was not clear if somebody was ready to buy these courses. If Ethan had used free software, decided to cooperate with experts, created the site by himself, the expenses would have been less. And if he had agreed with internet marketers and sales managers, that they would receive a percentage of profits or sales, the expenses would have been only a few $100s, not tens of thousands. But everything comes with experience. A lot of mistakes were made in the process of creating the marketing strategy, which ultimately also affected the effectiveness of the launch of MVP. The marketing strategy is a company's overall plan of action to attract customers. In other words, this is an action guide that helps the company to be profitable. The strategy should include a measurable and understandable goal, positioning, a description of the assortment, and the marketing plan. A marketing plan is a step-by-step guide for achieving a company's or project's short and long-term goals. As a result of developing the marketing strategy, the market was analyzed, the target audience was partly determined, but there needed to be better positioning. As for the channels that plan to use for distribution products, we will talk about this later, because there were made serious mistakes that need to be paid attention to. In addition, it was planned to achieve financial self-sufficiency in 5 months, return all investments in 1 year, and focus on attracting customers, ensuring customer satisfaction, customer retention, and providing brand awareness. Initially, Ethan wanted to sell each course for $500. Based on this, to reach self-sufficiency, advertising costs of 20%, it was necessary to make at least 20 sales per month. But potential students were not ready to pay such money to a new academy on the market. The most challenging thing was to find a team of goal-oriented people. All team members were not motivated. They were offered a fixed salary regardless of the number of sales. People are motivated when they understand that their salary depends on their ideas or performance. Ethan did not foresee this and, as a result, everyone did what he said, and he lacked expertise on many issues, and there was no time to control all processes. There were times when individual team members were completely without tasks, because Ethan did not have time to create them, and they did not take the initiative, since this was not encouraged in any way. Since the team was not motivated and not focused on results, instead of the planned 3 months, it took 4 months to create and publish all the materials, and only after that did they start advertising. The saddest moment was when everything was ready, all courses, but potential students didn't know anything about the academy or the courses. Instead of creating and accumulating content, marketers must publish it constantly and promote the company brand and each course separately, i.e. to warm up the audience's interest in upcoming events. But it was not done. As a result, it was spent almost $50,000 after 4 months of activity, and 2 enormous courses were created. Only one package was offered for $500, which was also a huge mistake, as potential students had no choice, and the $500 course was not affordable for everyone. In addition, a considerable amount of content was created by marketers. Still, it was not published on social networks because they planned to post it immediately after the creation of courses in the hope that the project would be interesting for everybody and sales would begin immediately. Let's discuss the free ways to promote the brand, which Ethan began using immediately after creating 2 courses. The promotion was done through the following: Facebook page of the company, business account on Instagram, business account on TikTok, company channel on YouTube, channel in Telegram, corporate website, SEO. Once the company was registered everywhere, it became clear that at least 1 or 2 more people Ethan needed to create content for the website and SEO promotion, create content and videos for social networks, and support them. And this is an additional expense. But there was no way to do without them because if a brand is not promoted and does not form the trust of potential clients, the probability that someone can buy something from a no-name is minimal. While 2 hired marketers were engaged in the free promotion of the brand and the courses, 2 more were involved in advertising. Since the goal was to sell $10,000 of courses in the first month, $2,000, 20% of the planned income, was allocated to test all hypotheses. Advertising expenses were separated in the following way: Facebook and Instagram, $1,000. TikTok, $200. Google and YouTube, $600. Instagram bloggers, $200. Creatives, unique selling propositions, audiences were tested in the first stage, and analyzed whether banners or videos were more appealing. Lead magnets, free trial lessons, or the warming up of potential clients through webinars were not offered. There was an attempt to make cold sales. As a result, the budget was spent without any sales, and no one left their contact information, as Ethan could get it only during the purchase, and the purchases, as noted, were 0. Ethan decided to experiment with a new sales funnel at the next stage, sales through a trial product. He took a few lessons from each course and created free mini-courses. Those who liked free mini-courses could buy access to all the materials for $500. Ethan allocated the same budget and used the same channels of promotion. As a result, he received 95 people who signed up for the free mini-courses and 2 sales thanks to sales managers. He found out many interesting facts in the process of communication with customers by phone, which we will discuss further. We will not stop and analyze cold sales calls, as this approach has shown to be unviable. But selling through trial lessons, mini-courses, is already the beginning of moving in the right direction. The first sales and feedback from potential clients who signed up on the platform and took mini-courses can be considered positive results of the test. What mistakes were found? There was a lack of trust in the online academy because brand promotion began in parallel with the launch of sales rather than earlier. Expensive courses. Lack of choice, only one offer. Customers did not understand why courses from Ethan's online academy were better than the competition. Potential clients did not find any value for themselves in the courses, because no one did not focus on value in advertising. TikTok didn't justify itself because the ads could be run only in certain countries where the necessary target audience was absent, and as a result the cost per click, average CPC, compared to Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube was more expensive. Ads were running to the wrong audience. With Google Analytics, when the ads were turned off, we analyzed where site visitors were coming from, through organic search, and it turned out that these were different from the countries in which the ads were running. Ethan noticed during the free promotion and advertising the following nuances. It's hard to promote educational content on social media. Trends rather than serious videos get into recommendations, that's why after the publishing of content miracles did not happen and new viewers were not many. You can constantly get views and visitors by uploading videos to your YouTube channel because Google analyzes the description and the keywords, and when somebody needs this information, they will be able to find your video via Google search. Organic traffic. The SEO promotion was successful, as at least 20 pages from the blog were constantly in the top 10 of the output for specific keywords. As a result, constant conversions to the company's website and familiarization with the services. After analyzing all the errors and eliminating local problems, the following changes were outlined in the approach to sales. Since the main point was that the course was expensive and not everyone could afford it, it was divided into 10 mini-courses, each planned to sell for $50. If someone wanted to buy all at once, there was a 50% discount. In addition, left free trial mini-courses. And Ethan decided to try running a webinar funnel, hoping that the expert's ability to communicate with people would also help with sales. Testing showed that potential clients were interested in the courses, but did not buy them for a few reasons: expensive, no trust, etc. Experts will work with these objections during webinars in the future, and marketers will eliminate the problems identified on their side. Moreover, ShBP Academy and Ethan jointly developed an anti-crisis action plan to be implemented within a month period. This is important. We had a meeting with Ethan in a month. All the recommendations to his team were implemented, the problems were eliminated, and, as a result, sales increased. Of course, everything did not work out right away, and a lot of effort, nerves, and money were wasted, but whoever does nothing makes no mistakes.